state. I can even tell you because I will take it. It's not about me. Definitely, I'm here. I will go. But Rivers State will still remain.
Well, the governor said his ability to restrain himself during the impeachment saga was a show of maturity.
My burden at that time wasn't the issue of all the drama. It's the millions of Rivers people who had made sacrifice, who are seeing opportunity, and it looks as if their hope are being dashed. They were the ones I was worried about. What would be their fate? I am the governor. There are things I could have done, and there would have been total crisis. But your ability to restrain in the face of crisis is when you have the power to do things. It's maturity.
Well, earlier today, Governor Fubara visited the psychiatric hospital in Rumigbo, Obiakpo local government area, where he ordered the immediate completion and expansion of the hospital to accommodate more patients.
The psychiatric hospital that I know many years ago is still what it is. I think we need to do total readdition of this and also meet the standard of the day. So we're taking over the project to increase the number of the bed space to be about 100 to meet the standard of the day and the needs of our people, not just for the states, but also neighboring states who don't have this facility. And also our young ones that are in the medical school, they use this particular facility for their training. So we need to put them up to standard.
Our correspondent reports that the governor also visited the cassava processing factory in Oyibo and promised to provide more funds for the completion of the 2 other production lines.
So my visit here today is to see how effective is the line. But from what I've seen today, it's really impressive, and I can assure them that we are going to give the financial support to ensure that the production lines are all completed and we can go into full supply of the product to anywhere in the world.
Moving on, the chairman of Labour Party in Rivers State, Hilda Dokubo, and spokesperson Gogo Wellington are asking the public to disregard the claims that the party did not file any legal action against the Martin Amehule-led lawmakers. Recall that Denye Pepo had claimed that the Labour Party did not file any legal action against the lawmakers. In an interview with correspondent Soibi Oruwari, Mr. Wellington alleged that Mr. Pepo lacked the powers to speak for the party, having been suspended for anti-party activities.
I hear one Denye Pepple and Favor Ruben are claiming that the Labour Party is not in court. This clearly shows that they are not even members of the Labour Party in the first place, because every true member of the Labour Party in Rivers State knows the position of things and knows that the Labour Party is in court. The persons parading themselves as members of the Labour Party or claiming to be members of the Labour Party have since been suspended from the party, suspended indefinitely, and are due for expulsion from the party because of their illicit activities.
Now, in his response, Denye Pepo, who is laying claim to the state party chairmanship position, said the crisis at the national level did not empower anybody from the state to impersonate him. Mr. Pepo said the party has not instructed its legal team to take action against the defected lawmakers.
Well, in as much as there is crisis in the party from the national, that shouldn't give some faceless individuals a yardstick to institute legal case on behalf of the party. If such a case should emanate, then it must come from me and my executives. On the issue of the 27 lawmakers that defected, we found out that some CSOs have already taken that particular case to court. Once the court makes their pronouncement and declare those seats vacant, we as a party, we are fully ready for a fresh elections. So once we file as a joiner to the case, we will let the public know. For now, we've not done so, and that is the position of the party.
Well, to health stories now. Healthcare centers have been urged to... In other news, an environmental rights activist, Fineface Dumnamene, is asking the federal government to urgently stop an impending mass protest by former artisanal refiners in the Niger Delta region. Mr. Dumnamene tells correspondent Suibi Oruwari that if the government fails to stop the protest, it could negatively affect crude oil production in the country.
The protest is going to contribute more to hardship, hunger, and difficulties that is making it difficult for them to can take care of their families and take care of themselves. So as a result of this protest, it is also going to affect the production of crude oil across the Niger Delta, because if they occupy major oil infrastructure, it is going to affect the production level of the country, which is already dwindling as a result of incessant crude oil theft, pipeline vandalism, illegal bunkering.
Well, the environmentalist, who is also the executive director of Youth and Environmental Advocacy Center, spoke on why the various pipeline surveillance contracts have not yielded the results in the Niger Delta region.
So I think that what the government needs to do in order to win the war against artisanal refineries, crude oil theft, and pipeline vandalism in the Niger Delta is to combine the stick and carrot approach. While the stick approach has to do with the military action they are currently going and the war that is going on against artisanal refiners in the Niger Delta, carrot approach has to do with the provision of alternative livelihood opportunities. And we are proposing that what needs to be provided for this youth, they need to legalize artisanal refineries.
Well, to health stories now. Healthcare centers have been advised to obtain the necessary ear screening equipment for early detection and intervention of potential hearing losses in infants. We're speaking on our sister station. A clinical audiologist at UPTH, Oyindamola Akinyemi, called on mothers to monitor their infants to ensure quick identification of any ear-related infections.
Now, something we say they good. Even WHO don't mandate.
Loud noise and ensure regular checkups of their ears.
Any ear pain for us as ENT doctor, we dey consider them as what they call emergency. Make you begin the run because infection they quick they get direct access to part of the ear when normally not supposed to get access to. So WHO will tell us say ear discharge na urgent problem.
Well, the theme for this year's observance is changing mindsets. Let's make ear and hearing care a reality for all. Still to come, over 100 primary school pupils kidnapped in Kaduna State. Stay tuned.
When my way groweth drear.
Nyewali Ishobo Ancient Kingdom, King Blessing A.N. Wago JP, Wagidi the 40th, Ishobo Council of Chiefs, and indeed the entire members of the Ishobo Ancient Kingdom, home and abroad, sadly joined Wigwe family, mourn the demise of our very
that the documents used to request the payment of $6.2 million for foreign election observers were forged. The witness, Bamai Meriga, called by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, said this at the resumed trial of the former CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele at the FCT High Court in Abuja today. Mr. Bamai also confirmed that the signatures were not those of former President Muhammadu Buhari and former Secretary General of the Federation, Boss Mustafa. While Mr. Emefiele is being prosecuted on 20 counts amended charges bordering on corrupt advantages, conspiracy, criminal breach of trust, forgery, and obtaining by pretense of over $6.2 million. Bandits have abducted over 100 pupils of a government second primary school in Kuriga community, Chikun local government area of Kaduna State, where a report says the bandits invaded the school at 8:30 a.m. today and took away the pupils, including the head teacher. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has called for the introduction of security education in primary and secondary schools nationwide. But this is just as the House said the move will equip young Nigerians with the knowledge required to identify threats to their safety and environment early in life. On the foreign scene, a Hamas delegation has left talks in Cairo without a deal for a ceasefire in Gaza, but the armed group says indirect negotiations with Israel are not over. Well, it had been hoped that a 40-day truce could be in place for the start of the Islamic month of Ramadan next week. Well, that's the news, but before we go, let's take a look at the highlights. On the news this evening, you heard that the Rivers State Governor, Siminalayi Fubara, says he is ready to give up his position as governor for peace. And Governor Fubara also ordered the immediate rehabilitation of the psychiatric hospital in Rumigbo in Obiakpo local government area. Forensic analyst is a former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, forged the signatures of former President Muhammadu Buhari and the SGF. On the foreign scene, Hamas delegation has left Cairo without Gaza ceasefire deal. The news was edited by Onyeka Chinwosu. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I am Constance Mega. Thank you for listening.
Here on Info.